Hello everyone and welcome back to One Piece. This is episodes, hold on, 805, 806, 807, and 809. No, 808. I skipped a number there. Okay, yeah, we're doing 4 episodes today. I believe part of the reason was we wanted to make sure like 807 and 808 were together or something. I don't know why, but I think that was something that was recommended to me, so that's what I'm doing, because last episode we did 4 episodes, we're still doing 4 episodes this video. There's a reason for that. Yeah, I'm really excited to jump into more, because I've been craving more One Piece. I'm craving a lot of shows that I'm watching right now, actually, but yeah, One Piece definitely. I want to see where this arc is going. We've been like getting some Sanji backstory and been learning more about his family and the cloning that they're doing and some crazy shit, and they're all scumbags and it's awful. But I can't wait to see, you know, if we can beat the shit out of them eventually. It's not going to be anytime soon. Our rising against them is going to take a while, but when it comes, oh, it's going to feel so good. So yeah, I'm really excited to jump into this. Make sure, please, to support this video if you can. Liking the video, commenting down below, and subscribing to the channel. All that stuff helps me out a ton. And you can go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reactions and early access. You can get the next 3 weeks or so of full-length versions on my Patreon account right now. You can get the next week of edited versions on my YouTube membership down below. If you click the little join button, you can join up and get 1 week early on edited videos. But yeah, let's jump into this. This is One Piece episode 805. Snapped on my eye. That's okay. One Piece. Woo! Okay, recap Rubik's. Here we go. If you're new to this channel, this is the recap Rubik's Cube. This is a Rubik's Cube that I do while the recap is going on. And the goal is to beat the recap. Damn, okay, well, that's as far as I got. This episode's gonna be called, I don't even know. This episode's gonna be called His Name is Cracker Not Biscuit. Don't forget, his name is Cracker Not Biscuit. 007's there? Wow. Can't believe they cloned James Bond. Do you think they name the clones their numbers as well? Like, one's like Hyaku ni Ju Go G. He wouldn't do that. Okay, here we go. Get to safety. She loves the power she has over them. Use it as a vaulting pole to get up in there. I wanted to see her like extend it out and jump. You got like candy all around you. And actually, they're biscuits. Eat them. They're made out of biscuits, right? Wait, that's actually genius. They're made out of biscuits. Let's eat them. Except the swords. I don't know, the swords are probably made out of biscuits as well. What? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're biscuits, dude. Eat up. Can you bite through them? Yeah, maybe not. Unless you haki infuse your teeth. Aww. Yeah, that makes sense. Just swallow them whole then. Ah. Wait, you can, yeah, maybe you can wet them to make them soggy. I mean, biscuits you dip in tea for a reason, you know? Yes, Nami! Now they're gonna be soft enough to eat. And then you're powering up Luffy because he's not gonna be hungry anymore. Oh, then they break on hitting him? Yes! Nami, you MVP! That's so great. Do you have a... Oh, I was gonna say, do you have a move for biting? Gum Gum... I don't know what he'd call it. Gum Gum Pez dispenser. And he can do that. He's not even in second gear and he can destroy them now. Yes! We can count on Luffy to eat. I like this is a clever solution to this battle. And it incorporates both Nami and Luffy's skills. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. He's having the battle of his life. Is it not raining anymore? Nami, need some more rain. Oh. He's just bringing a punch with him. What was the river made out of? Was it jam or something? Oh no, I think it was like juice, like melon juice or something. Because I know there was like a waterfall that was apple juice. So I don't think juice would go great with biscuits, you know, directly. Man, I'm glad I don't have any mirrors in my room. I don't want people spying on me. Oh my god, they're pretty quick for having those shackles on them. It's Carrot that's really fucking strong. Well, I mean, they're both carrying their things, actually. I thought, for a second, I thought they both had one on and Carrot was carrying both of theirs. But no, they're both carrying two. That's crazy. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, but you're dipping biscuits in juice, aren't you? I don't know if that's if that makes it more delicious. If it was milk, though, oh my god, that'd be amazing. Oh my god. Can you imagine if Wapo was here? Now that would be someone who's a good counter to Biscuit. To Cracker! His name is Cracker! He's in heaven. Apple juice flavored biscuits. And his stomach can stretch, so more than your normal person. Oh my god, that's a lot. But Luffy can eat a lot. Alright, here we go. I like that Nami's playing like a fun like support mage role. I like it. She's just debuffing all of them. Okay. Yeah, bro, you don't look good. Is it gonna reform his face? Oh, this is cool. Ow, Jesus. Oh. Every instinct would be wanting to tear it off. And yeah, fix his face. Nice. Cool technology. Like stimulates the muscles or some shit. Damn. Yeah. Oh my god, more backstory? This is what I do every day. What the heck? Because he thinks she'll be disrespected in the kitchen by all these fucking dudes. He doesn't want to kick a woman, I see. So yeah, he got all the chivalry from Zeph. Oh my god. Aww, that's actually very nice. Aww. I want to see that in the live action as well. I love the live action Zeph. He's such a good actor. Oh my god, Luffy. He's used so much energy making these biscuits. Surely not. I mean, he looks tired. Yeah. No, no. Oh, I thought he was gonna go for Nami. I don't care about King Bum. It's crazy that they think they're just obeying Mama like it's just... I guess since they're not like super intelligent creatures. You leave Nami out of this! Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he will. She's gassing him up. I like how Nami's like, I don't care, Luffy, you're gonna be doing this no matter what. We need to find a way to burn away these extra calories. Like, immediately. Alright, time to eat more. Oh my god. Jesus. That was a great episode. I liked that. I really like the solution to beating Cracker is to soften his biscuits and then eat them. Like it makes so much sense. I just, you know, you think of like, oh, he's got the biscuit fruit or whatever, the biz fruit, and then you think, well, okay, so he's just, you know, let's just pretend they're really strong, you know, impenetrable bits of iron. Like I don't even think of them as biscuits anymore. I just think like, okay, well, it's biscuits because they're keeping with the theme of Whole Cake Island. But I don't think about it in terms of like, well, they're biscuits, so they have the same weaknesses that biscuits do. I'm dumb for that. I'm dumb for not thinking of that, but it makes so much sense. And I love it because it also gives Nami something that she can fully do in this that like no other Straw Hat would be able to do. Like she can make it rain. She can soften all of these biscuits. Like I mean, maybe I guess you could make an argument that like that the other Straw Hats probably could in some way or another, but it'd be much harder for them. Like, you know, maybe Frankie can have like a water gun cannon or whatever. Maybe Usopp can like has a squirt gun that he's. I mean, the OP has squirt guns in it, but that's I imagine the OP is non-canon. But maybe Usopp has some squirt guns that he'd be able to use. But with Nami, she has like seemingly almost infinite rain energy that she can be using. And she can use it from a distance and doesn't need to get in harm's way and doesn't need to do individual biscuits. It's great. It's so good. So I really like that solution. And I think it's kind of like a fun little, like, it's fun that the battle turned on its head of like, originally it's like, holy shit, this guy's so strong that Luffy has to be in 4th gear to even stand a chance against him. And even in 4th gear, still kind of was or you know, he ran out of time essentially, because this guy just has like an incredible amount of resolve. But but now we've sort of switched it around, and now like we can beat him eventually if we just hold out. Now it's a battle of attrition. Now it's just we have to hold out longer than he does.
And if it's a battle of wills, I mean, I do, you know, like, it must suck for Luffy, and he's like, Nami, I really can't eat anymore. But at the same time, I do like that Nami's just ignoring it and going like, he's gonna be king of the pirates, so he's gonna eat every single thing you've got. His appetite is unlimited. He's like gassing Luffy up, and also like basically putting Luffy in a position where he has to do this to defend his friends, because that's when Luffy's gonna step up the most. Speaking of Luffy, by the way, look, I have this little guy right here. I just got it the other day because I had a gift card for Games World, which is a board game store that we have, and it was a gift card from many years ago, and I have a friend who works at Games World, and I went up to her and I went like, look, this is a gift card I told you about from a long time ago. I have no idea if it has any money left on it, but can you check it? And she checked it, and she was like, it has $5 on it, and this was like $10. Like, there was like a little pack, and you could get one random straw hat. And so I bought it, and I got Luffy, which is nice. I like getting Luffy. I was obviously hoping for Nami or Nico Robin, but I'm happy to get Luffy. So I've got him leaning against my Nami figure up here right now. So, you know, new thing to add to the family. Anyway, so what was the other thing? Oh yes, the other thing was in this episode we saw like the origin kind of Sanji's chivalry, like where he learned it from, and he learned it all from Zeph. And I mean, I think it's one of those things, like as the series goes on, you know, I have differing levels of like respect for Sanji's chivalry and the ways that it works, you know. Like I remember back in Enies Lobby when Sanji was facing Khalifa, and then he loses to Khalifa because he's like, I won't like kick a woman, I won't hurt a woman no matter what, right? And Sanji was like, but it's, you know, you're not doing it, it means you lose, it means all of us are in danger, like, and he says like, well, but that's just who I am. Like, I'm not a person who's ever gonna do that. And like at the time I was like, I think that it doesn't strike, you know, like as a character moment I understand it for the character, but as like while I'm taking it in, I didn't see it as honorable at the time, because I was like, you're putting your own friends in danger for this like false sense of you know, gender roles essentially. And I didn't like, I'm not the sort of person who's like, oh, gender equality, women and men need to be beaten equally or whatever. Like I don't like when people say that either. But like this is a life or death situation where Khalifa was coming after Sanji and was putting all of them in danger. Like at that point there's no gender on the battlefield at that point. Like you need to defend your friends, that's what matters. But I think I got some comments at that time that sort of shifted me on it a little bit, to the point where I still think it was the wrong choice, but at least I respected it on a level, you know? Like I respected that he has these convictions and they're not so easily swayed, because it kind of reminds me of in My Hero Academia, there's like in season 5 they're doing like fights with class 1B, and at some point like Ida just goes and saves some people off the battlefield and runs away with those people and saves them. And he says something, they say something along the lines of like, I need to make sure that I can do this in training so that when the real deal comes, like I still do it, you know? Like I can't just go like, oh, we're doing training, so I'm not gonna bother saving my friends because they're not really in danger, I'm gonna fight. But it's like, this is the time where you really cement in your head, this is what you do. So in that same way, I guess Sanji, like fighting, making sure that he doesn't hurt women is his way of going like, I need to make sure I'm always doing this so that I don't slip and start to have like a slippery slope where I'm like, well, you know, this woman maybe deserves it and this one doesn't. And like, you know, he starts to, if he just like puts a hard line on it, then he can be closer to the person that he wants to be. So like, I at least now, you know, I had to re-explain my position back then to explain what I think my position is now. I still don't agree with him. I still think he's an idiot for doing it. I'm kind of on Nami's side. Like, Nami at that point was like, that's the fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard, but I respect it. Like, that's essentially what she said, right? Like, you, for thinking that, you're an idiot. But, like, I can see in your idiotic mind that it's coming from a good place. That's kind of where I fall on it. And in the same way with with this, like, it's the same. I have kind of the same thoughts about this Baratier scene, where it's like, I think it's a very cool scene because I respect where it's coming from. I respect that Zeph is like, look, I don't want to bring a woman into this kitchen because my ways of teaching would mean that I'm abusing her, and that's not the kind of man I want to be. And Sanji, that's not the kind of man that you should be. And you know, going through all of that, I do respect that position. I also think there are different ways to go about it. Like, for example, how about you stop kicking your employees? You know, like, it's such a simple solution. You can be like, oh, that's just how I do things, but that's such like an old, like, 80-year-old man way of thinking. Change the way you do things. I think if you're really a good chef, you can teach people with positive reinforcement, motherfucker. Like, you can learn to do that. Any people who are like, no, negative reinforcement's the only way I can do things, you're not good at your job then. Sorry, you're a bad teacher. You're a bad instructor. I've had, like, because I'm someone who, I thrive off of positive reinforcement. I've talked about this somewhere before. I don't know if it's on One Piece, but when I was learning to drive, there weren't many options for me because I was learning to drive a manual car, and most of the driving instructors taught automatic. And I got this one teacher at some point. We went out we were like, you know, driving. It was like my first time driving, essentially. You know, like, I'd done a little bit around car parks, but that was kind of it. And so I'm like fucking nervous because I'm driving a death machine. Like, it's a huge block of metal that I'm controlling, and I'm, you know, 17 years old. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And he was just like pretty fucking brutal with me. And like, it was very clear, like, him being really rude to me wasn't helping my driving. It was actually just making me more nervous behind the wheel. And then at some point he went, okay, that's it, pull over. And I pulled to the side, and he got a pencil and a piece of paper, and he handed it to me and went, I want you to write down everything you were doing wrong. And I went, and I just held it, and I was like, I don't know what I was doing wrong. Like, I just don't know. How am I supposed to know? You're the teacher. Like, but I was just like, I was just stunned. I didn't know what to do. And I have that memory, like, seared into my head of like, that I was like, maybe I'm just never gonna drive. You know, like, maybe that's just it. Maybe I'm just like, maybe I'm done. And like, the next time I was about to have a lesson with him, we had it scheduled in. And as it was coming closer, I had a panic attack because I was like freaking out because I was so scared to do it. And at that time, my parents were like, okay, hang on, something's wrong here if he's having a panic attack before his driving lesson. And they like called up, they cancelled the lesson. They cancelled all our lessons with that guy. Eventually, we found a new person who was this very kind woman. She was like serious, but she was very kind, you know? So when I say very kind, she wasn't like, oh, you're so great, you're doing such a great job, you know? But she was just like so calm and reasonable. And at some point, you know, she was like I you know, went out of a roundabout, and she was like, make sure to remember to indicate out of the roundabout. And I went like, oh, sorry, I guess I forgot. And she went, don't be sorry, you're learning to drive. That's what this is all about. And I went,
what? Like, I was like, you're not gonna yell at me for that? You're not gonna tell me to pull over the car and verbally abuse me for a while? And I just, like, I relaxed so much, and I passed the test on the first time, and I've been driving for a long time ever since, and I have never, you know, gotten pulled over by cops. I've never gotten into a car accident, knock on wood, but, like, I feel like I'm a pretty good driver now. And it's because that woman treated me with fucking respect. And so, like, I know some people, negative reinforcement genuinely helps them, and they appreciate it because they want to be told, like, honest, harsh truths. It's the way that they learn. I get that that's the way for some people. I bet you Sanji's like that. He needs negative reinforcement. But at the same time, Zeph, my man, that's not everyone. that's not what everyone needs. Some people need different types of things, and as a teacher, as an instructor, as a chef, it's your job to figure out the ways that work best for everyone. And so all this to say, I think Zeph's, like, I think that idea is outdated and stupid, right? But, and this is where what really matters, I still respect the hell out of where it's coming from, which is he wants to be respectful, he wants to care, he's teaching Sanji mostly the right things. And so, you know, like, I think as a character moment, it's really good. And like, I think it's way better than the alternative that it could have been, which is either he is hiring a woman and just beating the shit out of her, or he's like, or like, you know, they're like just mistreating women, or he's not teaching Sanji anything, you know, like any of that stuff is way worse than what he did. What he did is like a step below like the best possible thing you can do. So still pretty great. And I mean, people aren't perfect. That's the thing. Like these things, sometimes you can look at these characters from a long distance away and go like, well, the perfect thing to do in this situation would be this and this and this. But people aren't perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't think. Maybe I am, but I doubt it. But like nobody watching this video is going to be perfect. And we all have some things about us that we're probably doing wrong. And we might not even know it, or we might know it, but not be able to, like, not be very good at adjusting our behavior from there. And so, you know, I can't judge these characters too harshly for not doing the extremely most perfect thing that they could do. So all things considered, all this to say, I think it's cool. I think it's a cool moment of chivalry, but I had very complicated thoughts on it that I had to at least somewhat get out. Even though sometimes whenever I go into Sanji stuff, people are like, what's with the Sanji hate or whatever, or I don't know. You get people coming out of the woodwork for that. But I'm saying I love Sanji, and actually, you know, in this episode, like, and this arc so far, I don't think there's been a single Sanji moment I haven't liked in this whole arc so far. I don't think there's a single Sanji moment I haven't liked since God, I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've had a Sanji moment I didn't like. There maybe was one in Dressrosa somewhere, but I can't remember it if there was. So yeah, great stuff. All right, let's move on to episode 806 of One Piece. Here we go. Okay, recap Rubik's. Here we go. Okay, this episode is going to be called, I finished a cube here. This episode is going to be called, oh god, I don't know. The Return of Zeph. Pirate Red-Leg Zeph storms the island. Yeah, clean up. I mean,
to be fair, you're like, oh, the Vinsmoke family needs to look clean. You motherfuckers wear squeaky shoes everywhere you go. We're the almighty Vinsmoke family. Jesus. I like how his legs... I mean, I know it's because it's all in his stomach, but his legs are just so skinny and the rest of him is... Oh my god. Give up! Now... Oh! He's still doing it! I was gonna say, now he just starts punching them, but no, he's still eating. Because he needs to, like, actually eat the biscuit so he can't just reform them, right? Oh my god. Oh, his legs collapsed under him. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is he going into 4th gear in this mode? Overweight 4th gear? Holy shit. Oh my god. Turned into a nuke. Please just turn all that biscuit into muscle. Oh my god. Jeez. Tank man. When he's covered in strong haki. Oh my god. Hell yeah. You can't pierce him. It's like he's trying to pop a balloon. Oh my gosh. Absorb him. Yes. Oh my god. Oh? Okay. Like, don't waste your energy. Or is there actual reason you need them to be hard? Oh my god! He's like Fat Gum from My Hero. Oh! Oh! Hell yeah! So he wanted him to be hard so he could blast through them. Oh my god, just killing all these trees. Oh my god! Oh my god, killed a mountain. Deliver him all the way back to Big Mom. Oh, oh my god! Please have Cracker just smash through the wall here. Come on, come through now. Oh my god, the sound like a jet. Oh, I wish he like went into Big Mom's room. That's so great. Montador. Yeah, Minister of Cheese. Opera. Galette. Okay, now you need to like work off some of that weight. Do some push-ups or something. Yeah, that was good. Oh, hey man. Aw, so cute. He's not on your team.
ママのビブルカードが絶対的なのは分かっていた。だからこそ今ではママの子たちでさえそれを持つ子。復讐のクラッカー軍が海を黒く埋め尽くし、
Oh my
怒り
god.
の連理が嵐を呼び、は天候を従える女。天候？左手に雷雲ゼウス。
What?
太陽プロメテウス。
What? How?
ビッグマムリンリンの耳に入る前に早く逃げるのよね。
I mean, I'm not worried about that. That's weather. We got Nami on our side. We're good.
手紙を置いて消えやがって。理由も言わねえでよ。
Yeah.
プリンの地図のおかげでここまで来られたけど、ペコムズは消えるし。
Yeah, I kept forgetting about that
プリンは
Peckham
サンジを連れてきて
thing.
くれるって言ったのに、そこの海岸には誰もいなかった。
No one's reliable enough.
式はいつかな。
It's noon or whatever, right? Isn't it? Oh.
おいキ
Pick me up.
それは。
俺を城まで運べ。
Mhm.
嫌だじゃん。
It's shocking that Chopper and Carrot are getting away while holding their restraints.
ここであいつ
Look at their eyes.
なんか頭が
Oh, you see Sanji? Hmm? Oh? Wait,
サンジの姉ちゃんだ。
that's Reiju? Yeah.
サンジが行っちゃう。せっかく見つけたのに。
Yeah.
こっち見て。サンジ。サンジ。
Aww. Damn.
そうだね。知らせないとね。
What? Jesus. I mean, cheering for him despite him being the failure of the family. Or maybe they're cheering for Reiju. I'd cheer for Reiju. Oh shit. Sanji in a cape. That's pretty cool. I gotta say, cool design.
ボコボコにできるからな。お前には無理だ。よせ。
Oh my god.
国民に答えてやれ。サンジ。
He's already doing what you want. Flip him off. Flip off the citizens.
行くぞ。
Aww. Damn. All right, pretty good episode. So we beat Cracker. Hopefully now we're never gonna see him again, so I won't have to get his name wrong again. We beat Cracker. And it was very satisfying. I mean, beating him by like sending him all the way through, like out of the forest, across the skies, through many trees and buildings and mountains, and all the way to like the doorstep of Big Mom's house is so great. We saw some characters there. I believe their names were like what was it? Montdour, Galette, and Opera or something. I want to see if I can actually get to those screens that have their names on them, because that will, I think, give me some extra information. So we got, yeah, Charlotte Montdour, 19th son of Charlotte, Minister of Cheese. I think maybe we might have seen these guys before, but I can't quite remember. Charlotte Opera, 5th son of Charlotte, Minister of Cream. Cream, that's the one that I don't have. I didn't write down the Cream Minister. Now, when it says cream, does that include ice cream? Or is that just purely cream? And then we have Galette Charlotte, 18th daughter of Charlotte, Minister of Butter. She, I mean, she's pretty. I like her design. I like her, like, it's like the Doflamingo, you know, coat, scarf, whatever the hell it is, but purple. So that's kind of cool. And she's got little arrows pointing out of her head. And she's the Minister of Butter. It's interesting. Like, some of them, like, Montour, his hair kind of looks like cheese. Opera looks like he's made out of cream. I can't see butter for her, though. I guess her eyes kind of look like butter. Like, they're like that yellowy butter color. And I mean, I guess maybe just that she's very pale. She's a very pale woman. But yeah, anyway. So we just got to see some characters. I don't know how much... I mean, they've got kind of interesting designs, so I feel like they could have a role in the story. I'm trying to figure out, because these are just ministers. They're not, like, but the three generals, or... Like, there's the three sweet generals, right? Which is made up of, as far as we know, there's Cracker. There's someone who was defeated who is like the fourth general, but we don't need to count him. Do I have the other generals like written anywhere? I cannot remember. Cracker is the Minister of Biscuit. And then I've got some terribly written notes that are really hard to read. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if I have the generals written down in an easy to find place. If I do, is Peros? Is that guy? Was he a general? Because he was like a minister. I think he was the Minister of Candy or whatever, right? But I don't know if that means he's also... I don't, like, because these people are ministers as well, and that they're not generals, so there's like a distinction there. But Cracker was a general and a minister, you know? So it's like them being a minister doesn't mean they're not a general. I guess we'll find out as it goes on. We might have already like seen exactly who each of the generals were, but I feel like there's been a lot of characters that they've shown in this arc so far, and I never know like which ones are going to be actually important and which ones are just going to be like, oh, here's some nice flavor. Because I mean, I think what Oda wants to do right now is, you already established Big Mom has like, you know, fucking 100 children or whatever. Like, she has a lot of children. And so if you establish that, you don't just want to, I think, make them all have like, you know, oh, here's you know, my 5 main children, and then here's my 95 other children. Then you look back and it's just like generic One Piece designs, you know? Like, I think Oda wants to have it so that all of the children look unique and interesting and different, to make it look like a family with a lot of variety, which is kind of the idea. So that's what I think Oda's trying to do. But because of that, I also can't tell which ones are going to be like really important based on their designs, which is good. I like that I can't tell, because I think that's kind of more fun to like figure out as we go. Like, oh shit, this person's actually a big deal, you know? Like, I didn't think Cracker was going to be as big a deal as he was. I mean, he was one of the 3 generals, so I should have. But I was just like, okay, they're sending a guy who just looks like a big tough guy. Who cares, you know? But then he was like a real problem for us. So I guess we'll see. It took us a while to beat Biscuit, though, and it took like quite a lot of figuring out his weakness and dealing with him. And he's just one of the generals. Is Luffy gonna beat all of the generals, or are we gonna like split it up among the party, you know? Like, maybe Brook and Pedro are gonna have to deal with a general of some sort. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be mostly Luffy dealing with the generals and making his way up to... Because there's like other characters that the other characters can deal with, you know? There are so many other characters that you can have the others deal with some ministers or whatever. I forgot what... Broly... I don't think she's a general, right? There's no way she's a general, right? But she, I imagine, was a minister. Do I have it written down? I just have Broly. I don't have like if they gave her a subtitle. The thing is, these when they show these characters, and my voice is giving out a bit, when they show these characters in these big things, I mean, I've talked about this before, but like when I'm watching in sub, it's so much harder to take in this extra information while trying to take in the dialogue at the same time and the visuals. I'm trying to look at this girl's design, and I'm trying to read what she's saying, and I'm trying to read what her name is and her position is and what numbered daughter she is. Like, that's too much information to take in. At least when I'm watching a show in dub, I can like take in the writing on screen and the design and hear what she's saying, so I can like get rid of one of those elements. And I'll still probably miss stuff, but at least it gives me a fighting chance. But when I'm watching a show in sub, I just have to be like, okay, I just have to figure out like what's the important information. I remember I talked about this back when Silver's Rayleigh was revealed, because it's like when they showed him, he was saying cool things and he had a cool design, and it was also a reveal that he was Gold Roger's like second in command or whatever. So it was like this huge deal, and I had to like take in the information and figure out like what's the thing they're revealing here. Is it in what he's saying? Is it in what he looks like? Or is it in who he is? And in that case, it was in who he was. So you have to like really quickly go like, oh, what's the important information? Silver's Rayleigh, Gold Roger's crew. Oh my god, you know. So yeah. Anyway. Is that all? Oh yeah, they also talked about how Big Mom can like do shit with the weather in this episode, which we already know her fruit is the soul fruit. Can she give souls to weather effects? I don't know, because they specifically said like, oh, Zeus in her left hand and Prometheus in her right or something like that. I don't know, like that reminds me of like a Blackbeard thing, how Blackbeard has like both fruits, but the thing, like, that's kind of special to Blackbeard, I think. So I don't know. But we'll figure it out, because I think, look, she deals with weather. We got Nami. Nami's thing is weather. We'll be fine. We'll be all right. Let's move on to the next episode. This is episode 807 of One Piece. Here we go. Sorry, before I move on to the episode, I was looking back at my notes as I was moving on to the next one. And I had the notes Smoothie and Katakuri written down. But they said the name of the other generals in this episode, and I forgot. I completely forgot. But I was like trying to figure out like, oh, who's the general? Maybe we haven't seen them. They said the names were Smoothie and Katakuri, so I'm just so dumb. Anyway, let's move on. Here we go. Whoa! New OP? Okay! I should be careful about looking at the visuals too much, but okay. So far, it's a strange song. I like the verse so far, though. I do love me a female-led song. It's a very peaceful verse. Ooh. Cool. I'm kind of not looking now, because there's going to be a lot of visuals. I'll wait a few episodes to look. It's an interesting song. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but I don't hate it. It's really weird. It's almost kind of like not an OP song. It feels like an ending song, maybe, you know? Okay, I'm like just seeing in the corner of my eye, there's a lot of visuals that seem like they're directly from the show, or at least will show off some pretty big things happening. Interesting. Don't know how I feel about it yet. I like the verses a lot. Oh, the Baratier? Oh, shit. We're going back to this dude. So long ago I can barely remember his name. I can't remember his name. Like the best part of Sanji, his personality is feeding guys like him. Damn, man. We've come such a long way. Oh my god. We're really watching the Baratier arc? I'm not gonna skip this even though it's recap. We're just gonna watch it. Oh my god. It's pretty cool when Luffy had such a simple set of moves. He had like pistol, bazooka, bell. Just shows like how weak Don Krieg was, getting soloed by East Blue Luffy.
And Luffy's dead. Damn, Sanji, those are some old memories. Oh my gosh, there's a title. This episode's gonna be called The Reminiscence. Sanji and Luffy's romantic backstory. Imagine if they kissed. Can you imagine if like the show ended with Sanji and Luffy like becoming a canon couple? It's cool that they can communicate to her through that little shard of mirror. Oh my god. It's like a found footage film. That's so funny. Oh shit! The ears popping above the... It's not really good to hide when you got ears sticking up like that. What's going on? Oh! Randolph. He's processing the food. There we go. Thank goodness, honestly. I didn't want him to be like that for 100 episodes. He's hungry again. Oh shit! Oh shit! It's like right here? Oh shit! I thought like I didn't think we'd be anywhere near them yet. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I mean, wait till you get closer. Oh boy. Calicoach? Like Calico Coach? That's so clever. Is that Sanji that did that? Oh. He actually said that? The thing that Cracker said he'd say? Man. This reminds me of Arlong Park with Nami. Oh my god. Luffy vs Sanji? Luffy vs Sanji? Didn't we already have a mid-card or no? I'm misremembering. Maybe, yeah. No, we did have a mid-card already. They give... What? That was weird. Here's how they found him. And this happened until Zeph attacked the ship. Why are there so many mid-cards? What's going on? This is the third one in this episode. Oh boy, I think they're really setting up a Sanji Luffy fight. Possibly. Oh, and they were very dismissive of him, I think. It was not until Zeph that someone actually took him seriously, right? And this is Zeph, right? Yep. The Cook Pirates. Thing is, they're re-showing these backstories, but they're also like drip feeding in new scenes here and there. This scene again. I mean, we just saw this scene 2 episodes ago for the first time. Oh god, Jesus Christ. Man. They did not give me a chance there. So I'm pretty sure these 2 episodes were aired like as one episode, like this one and the next one. So I think that's why there's no like to be continued, because it's probably just like went right on to the next episode. But it just started showing me the preview. That's crazy. We're not going to spend too long discussing this because we're technically halfway through an episode. But I do want to talk about just a couple things. First thing, about the Sanji and Zeph thing, I do want to also, like, since we had
had to watch that whole scene again of the woman thing that I already talked about at length. I'll just give one more thing, which is I want to give a bit more respect to Sanji from my discussion. This is something that I didn't mention, but when he says, "Oh, I'm not gonna kick women anymore," the thing that I saw in that scene in my first time watching it, but I didn't really take into account when I was doing the discussion, is when Zeph says, like, and if you don't respect, you know, chivalry and being a man properly, then I'll cut off my own dick. Like, that's like literally what Zeph says, essentially. And so, like, when Sanji's saying, like, I can't hurt a woman no matter what, he's actually not just saying it for himself, he is saying it for Zeph as well. So when I say, like, oh, he's, you know, he's not fighting a woman and it's, like, putting his friends in danger, in his mind, like, also fighting her would be doing such a disservice to Zeph and would, like, be quote-unquote putting Zeph in danger as well, because he'd have to cut off his own dick. I still think it's, like, it comes from a dumb place, kind of, but it's more respectful because, and we know that Zeph is like Sanji's main weakness, right? So he would do basically anything to protect Zeph. We got a new OP in this episode, which was pretty good. It's interesting. Like I need to hear it a few more times to see how I like the song. I love the verses and I love the woman's voice. I just need to see if I can continue to vibe with the chorus, because the chorus, I wasn't a huge fan of the chorus the first time that I heard it, but like sometimes it takes me a few times and then I love it. You know, there was that OP, I forget which one, but a few OPs ago, where at the start I was like, oh, I'm not sure, let's see after a few listens, and then after a few listens, it was like one of my favorite ones. It was a hard knock days, that one. That song, my first time listening to it, I was like, I don't think I love it, you know. But then, like, my third time listening to it, it was like one of my favorites. So we'll see. I mean, most of this episode was like Baratie flashback, or like even not Baratie flashbacks and other flashbacks of Sanji's backstory and stuff. Which it's sad that I had to watch so much flashback in this episode, especially since I couldn't really skip it because there were scenes in there that were new, so I had to just like watch the stuff that I'd seen before just in case. But I think it's probably going to be building up to a Sanji Luffy fight, which is kind of exciting to see. So we're gonna see that coming up. By the way, Calicoach is a really cool name for that cat-drawn carriage. All right, let's move on to the next episode, and the final one we're doing in this video, episode 808. Here we go. All right, we're just jumping right back into it. Here we go. I don't need more flashbacks, One Piece. Show me the fight. Oh my god, I just saw the title because they just popped it up on the screen. I couldn't even hide my eyes away. It was about what I expected it would be anyway. Can you imagine if it just popped up like Sanji's death? A shocking revelation. Now do you see why he doesn't want to leave the Straw Hats, losers? I like seeing it from that perspective. He needs to protect his hands. He has too much to fight for right now. I guess he didn't say he'd chop off his dick. He said he'd chop off Sanji's dick and his own head, right? Unless he was talking about that head down there. Oh god. Oh god. I mean, she is beautiful. Aww.
Oh my god. Who are poor and weak. Which he knows isn't true. I mean, Nami, I think you'd understand this right now. You were like this at one point. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, this is a good... We get to see how strong Sanji is compared to Luffy. Oh. Oh my god. We saw his skull cracking. And his skull is theoretically made out of rubber, right? But I guess maybe when you're using Haki, that doesn't matter. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, he kicked Luffy for real. I mean, that was a real fucking kick. I don't think anyone's ever knocked a tooth out of Luffy before. Stop giving me mid cards. I don't need 1,000 mid cards. I want to watch the fight. Really is watching like a sports event though. They give you advertisements every time out. Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh, the animation's great right now. God damn. It's like almost 800 episodes ago that was happening. Yeah, listen to Nami. She's a woman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a duel. Yep. Yep, you gotta stay out of it. If Zoro was here, he would have punched Nami in the face for trying to speak up. Oh, he's just taking it. I like that, like, Luffy's kind of doing the duel just by taking the hits. Oh, Jesus. This is a really interesting way to do the duel scene. I love the music. Oh my god. Oh. Jeez, man. The music's so good, though. Feels like Nami's being the most hurt by this. I mean, realistically, Sanji's probably being the most hurt by this. Because he's having to do it. Stop with the fucking mid-cards! God damn, man. Go easy. Oh boy. And Nami has to stay out of it because Luffy told her to. Oh my god. Oh. I mean, this is pretty fucking badass as a move, though. Why is it when our crew members are fighting Luffy, they're incredible? Same with Usopp. Oh, Nami. Holy shit! Oh, oh my god! Oh, no. Oh my god. Oh, knocked him out. Holy shit. That's huge. I know Luffy wasn't fighting back, but god damn. God damn, he killed Luffy. Jeez, man. Oh, I kind of love that they're showing like the pooling blood. I feel like the anime shies away from that a lot.
Have Nami crying in one of her cutest outfits in the whole show.
ちょっとサンジ
Yes!
さよなら余計なことして
わあきつい女
I mean, I know Sanji didn't want to do it, but I'm glad she slapped
いや
him.
不要な縁が
God.
出せ
Wow, what a scene. And man, we're seeing Nami like, that was like real anger from Nami. It actually kind of gives me chills seeing someone's anger be so realistic. Because normally she like yells at people, you know, but it's a different thing when she gives that look.
待て
Oh my god.
サン
Oh yeah, he
ジ
hates
何
it.
が下級海賊だ言いたくもねえ言葉並べやがって
Yes, of course.
嘘つくんじゃねえよ俺を追い払えると思ってんのか俺のこと蹴るだけ
Yeah,
蹴
you
って
can't send
も
him away.
お前だろ
That's what I was saying. Like, Sanji's the one that's probably hurting the most. Oh, that was really well drawn. Sanji crying.
どんな理由があれあんたをこんな目にうるせえ
進め
Oh.
オールブルーって知ってるか奇跡の海の話さ
俺はここで待ってるからなお餓死してやる
God damn.
お前は
And they're laughing
俺
at
の船
Luffy.
のコックだから
Or laughing at Sanji.
俺はお前の
Oh,
飯しか
I love that.
腹が減っても槍が降っても
Mm-hmm.
ここをお前を待ってる
Oh, I really love that.
お前がいねえと俺は海賊王に
Oh,
なれね
that's really nice. Without you, I can't do it. Like, Luffy never says shit like that.
え俺の海賊船のコックに
Oh, this song! One of the best One Piece songs out there. The very first ending, right? God damn, man. Wow. What an episode. That was crazy. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm gonna have to talk about there, just because I'm like, it's a lot, you know. but I'll give like my first thoughts on it, which is well, look, here's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give my like straight away thoughts on it right now, and then I'm gonna give my later thoughts, like my thoughts once I've processed it a bit, and like I have other stuff that I have to do. I didn't know that this would be such an important episode. I should have, because I was told to watch 2 episodes together, but I didn't realize how important the episode would be, and I don't want to like fully rush the discussion. So I'll just do a bit of the discussion now, then I'll pause it, and you'll see me later when I have more time to do the rest of the discussion, do more of the discussion so that I can properly like talk about it. But I mean, my first thoughts is like, wow, I love the way they handled this, and it's so, I mean, it feels like, you know, Nami, Arlong Park, it feels like Usopp leaving the crew, like it's one of those major moments. But you know, this one, it's like Sanji's just been really cornered by his family. Like, he's not even necessarily trying to like push them away for, like, with Usopp, he was pushing them away because he couldn't accept something within himself, you know. With Nami, she was pushing them away because she like didn't trust in anyone. And with Robin, she was pushing them away in Enies Lobby and stuff because she was scared for their safety. Here, it feels like Sanji's like, he just feels like if he doesn't do this, he's gonna lose like other things he cares about. You know, like where Robin was trying to defend the Straw Hats, Sanji actually like kind of feels like his identity and like everything that, like, not only will the Straw Hats be dead, but also he'll lose his hands for cooking, and he'll lose Zeph, the person that he cares about a lot. Like, that's a lot to have to deal with. So it's really painful for him. I remember in my prediction video, one of the things that I did was like Brook and Sanji had a fight because Brook was trying to stop him from seeing pudding or whatever, and I did that fight, and at the end of the fight, like, Brook wins, and then Sanji's like, I lost, but the implication is that I was holding back, so power scalers can't get a good idea of who's stronger, right? And I did that whole joke, but like my prediction there overall was basically 2 Straw Hats are gonna fight, because it felt like the right time in the show again, because every once in a while, you know, Oda likes to throw in the Straw Hats up against each other. So I thought like, oh, Sanji's gonna fight a Straw Hat. I didn't think it'd be a Sanji versus Luffy thing. And often in those fights, implication that someone's holding back, which Luffy was holding back. I mean, Luffy wasn't attacking back at all. He was just taking the hits. And I think, you know, part of it was he was saying to Sanji at the end, like, every time you hit me, you're the one who gets hurt. So it's like Luffy didn't need to punch back. Sanji was already taking the hits. So yeah, it's very sad. And that, I mean, last thing I'm going to talk about right now before I take the break is that scene where Nami slaps him, and then we see this expression, like, man, because there's anger that you play off in the series as like, oh, you guys are idiots, what are you talking about? Or like, you know, anger where you really really yell at someone, and then there's a level beyond that of anger, which is like giving them this look. And this is not even just for Nami, this is for like a lot of people, and like me included, I think. Like when you're really, really angry at someone, like sometimes I get that way, and it's like I will give someone this look, and it rarely ever happens. I don't get angry at people generally at all, but if there's someone that I'm like excruciatingly angry about because they've done something that I'm really frustrated at, like, you give them this look because your head is so cloudy, you know, and I could see it. I think this is a beautifully drawn image. I love this image. And I mean, that, like, to me, this is like the scariest Nami's been to me, because it's so much scarier when someone looks at you like this. When someone like this is someone looking at you like, I feel like you betrayed me and I will never forgive you. It feels like that kind of look. So yeah, that kind of gave me chills just seeing Nami like that. It feels like that's a version of Nami we've never seen. But yeah, anyway, so just hold on. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to now take a small break. And by a small break, I mean, like, I have to go somewhere. But hopefully I will come back and discuss this a little bit more then. So I'll see you soon. Okay, I'm back. It's been a while. but I just wanted to like properly talk about this a bit more. So yeah, like, I don't remember what I said in what you just watched in that discussion. So I'm just gonna talk like, and hope that I'm not completely repeating myself from that discussion before. But it was a really cool episode. I really like how how the whole situation is treated, because like it's clear to us what's happening. It's not like the show isn't trying to pretend that Sanji's bad now, you know, like it's not bothering with that. like, I feel like we've kind of already done that with like Nami and Nico Robin, where it's like, oh, these characters are, you know, or maybe they're actually betraying us, you know. You did it with Nami, where it's like, no, the whole time she was on Arlong's crew, so it's like she did kind of betray us. And with Nico Robin, it was like, oh, we were warned that she was trouble, and then she turns around and betrays us, you know. So there's those things happening. But this one feels more like an Usopp situation, where it's like, shit, I don't know what else to do, and the only thing I can really do is resign to the fact that I can't be a part of the crew anymore. But like the way that they're doing it in the, like, they set up previously with Cracker saying, you know, if Sanji's gonna leave you, or if Sanji sees you like this, he's gonna say, you know, get the fuck out of here, you low-ranking pirate or whatever. And then Luffy's like, Sanji would never say that. And then we see him say that here. And so it's like, it's so clear that this is so unlike Sanji, what he's doing here. But what I also liked is in I think it was in episode 807, you have Luffy, it was either 807 or 806, where you have Luffy jump to the card and is like talking to Sanji and stuff. And it's like all happy, and that's until Sanji kicks him. So you have that, but then you show in this episode, in 808, we see the exact same scene, but they reanimate it, so it's more from Sanji's perspective, and they add some more stuff in, but they also show Sanji going through in his head, like, you know, Zeph's in danger, his hands are in danger, the crew's in danger, and he's like going through all these flashbacks of like everything he stands to lose in this situation, and just how crushing it is for him. So that was crazy. The battle, I mean, if you can even call it a battle, it was Sanji beating the shit out of Luffy and Luffy just taking it, but was crazy. And I mean, these moments, like I said in the episode, like, why don't these characters do this sort of stuff when they're on our side? But I do think, you know, I mean, I do think those characters, and by those characters I mean Sanji and Usopp, they do fight really hard when they're with us as well and do crazy shit as well. But it's just like it's so much like I guess it's also because Toei put so much effort into these specific ones because they're such important moments of the series where the character is truly showing like how badass they are when facing off against Luffy. Because I think it's easy for us as viewers to be like, well, Luffy's like the top dog and everyone else is like basically really weak compared to him. But then you see situations like fighting Usopp, where Usopp, you know, he's got his own strengths, and even though he loses to Luffy, it's still like, holy shit, no, he's like, Usopp is very smart and strong. And then same with Sanji, where it's like, we're like, well, it's, you know, like Sanji's strong, but this is Luffy we're talking about. And, you know, even though, once again, in the same way that like Usopp lost his fight technically but still impressed us, in this fight Luffy wasn't technically fighting, but regardless, Sanji still impresses me because like he's kicking the shit out of Luffy, and he actually, like, the first hit he makes on Luffy makes him bleed and spit out a tooth, and like it cracks his skull. Like, that's stuff we don't see on Luffy very often. We don't see that kind of damage on him, especially not from a first hit often. But then again, I think Luffy was also saying he wasn't using Haki. He said, why do I need Haki? I'm talking to my friend. So he wasn't defending himself with any Haki at all. I think Sanji was using Haki. It's kind of hard to tell when he's using Diable Jambe or whatever it's called. Because his leg's already on fire, so it's hard to see if his leg's also black. But yeah, I mean, I feel like he was going, if not all out, really close to it against Luffy. Because I think it's also like a respect thing. It's like, Luffy, you can handle this. You can take me kicking you with all my strength. The only way this is going to work is if I don't hold back on these kicks. That's what I feel like is happening there. But yeah, I mean, I want to rewatch this episode already. It was a really good episode. Like, you know, there was a lot of flashbacks, especially in episode 807, where it's like they went through a lot of flashbacks, but I can see why they did it, because it's, I mean, first of all, if this was aired as an hour-long special, it's possible they only had the week to work on this episode, but it was double the length. So maybe they had to also, like, they wanted to make it feel special by making it an hour-long special, but then they also had, like, a really cool scene to animate and 2 times the length of episode to do, so they had to put in a bunch of flashbacks. And I mean, it was, like, the flashbacks building up to the fight was very cool. I think maybe if they just did a little less, you know? Like, we didn't need to see the whole of Sanji starving on the island again, you know? We didn't need to see Zeph losing his leg again. Or if we do see that, like, see, like, one clip from it. Like, a 10-second clip from it to remind us of that stuff, you know? But still, doesn't matter. And, I mean, that's an anime thing, not a Oda, not a manga thing. That's a, you know, that's a Toei thing. But yeah, oh man, I'm just looking at my notes, and I'm also looking at the episode itself and seeing, like, I'm like, to me, just, I know I already kind of mentioned it, but like the Nami stuff is so heartbreaking. Like, just what, like, not even just this, like, I talked about her being angry and the slap and stuff, but just also seeing her just devastated by watching all of this situation. And I like what she said, where she was like, Luffy has been fighting one of the generals for you. Like, he spent all night fighting this general for you to protect you, and now this is how you're treating him after that. But then we also have the situation where, like, Nami is thinking about it from Luffy's perspective. Nami is like really frustrated with Sanji because of what he's doing to Luffy, because he's hurting him and because he's like being so mean to him. Like, you know, after Luffy did all of this for Sanji, he's like, and now you're treating Luffy like he even said, like, I don't remember what your name is. Like, it's so disrespectful, treating him with such little respect. And Nami, I don't think is offended on her behalf. She's offended because she loves Luffy and she wants Luffy to, like, she wants Luffy to be respected after all of the shit that he, you know, she finds Luffy annoying, and same with Sanji. She finds them annoying sometimes, but she also loves them so deeply. And so seeing this happen is, like, so upsetting to her, but she's not seeing it, like, she's not seeing the bigger picture in this scene when Luffy is. She's seeing Sanji being an absolute dick, but Luffy's not seeing that. Luffy is seeing Sanji hurting because Luffy has an incredible emotional intelligence. I mean, us as viewers also, like, we can tell that that's happening with Sanji, but if you, realistically, if you're in this situation, and someone's treating you like this in the moment, it would be very hard to tell that they're faking it, or, like, you know, that their heart's not completely in it, especially when they're doing this shit. Like, it would be very easy to go, like, no, this is actually who they are. They're actually a dickhead. But we're in a show where we know, you know, the character of Sanji, where I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't just say goodbye to Sanji, like, have Sanji turn his back on the Straw Hats, and that's it for the rest of the series. Like, 800 episodes, and then he betrays them, and then he's never in the show. Like, we beat him at the end of the arc, and then he's never in the show again, you know? Like, that would be honestly insane. And, like, I don't even know if it would be, like, a really cool twist, but then, I mean, it's very similar to Gent's Law. Even though this isn't a death, I think this, like, Gent's Law still kind of applies to this situation. Do I still have Gent's Law here? I thought I did. I thought I had Gent's Law. Okay, hold on. Oh no, I do. Hang on. There it is. Okay, so Gent's Law, if you don't know already, is a thing that I reference quite a bit because I was saying this a lot in discussions, so at some point I just wrote it down, and so I could just have the screenshot to point to. But this is in character deaths, right? The impact of a character's death must be greater than said character's accumulated value if they were to remain alive for the rest of the series. So essentially, what I'm saying there is if a character dies at a certain point in the story, does the story from that point on get better for them having died? Like, in the moment of their death, you have a really cool moment. Like, it's like, whoa, this character died. That's crazy, you know? But then, like, what next? Like, in a show like One Piece, there's hundreds of episodes left, right? So, like, is a show without Sanji, is that worth the death moment? Even though the death moment was really cool, is it worth giving up Sanji for the rest of the show? So, in this case, what I'm talking about here isn't a death, but I think Gent's law still applies. If Sanji was to betray the crew and then, like, not be a part of the crew anymore for the rest of the show, it's a really cool moment because it's 800 episodes of build-up to him betraying the crew. But then, like, the rest of the show, you don't have Sanji anymore. Or, let's say you do bring Sanji back, but then you've maybe people's opinions of the character have changed so much that you've, like, in a lot of people's minds, ruined that character. Like, that character isn't as special to them anymore because he's always the guy that betrayed the crew at a crucial time, even though he was never like that to us before. Now, I'm saying all of this, obviously, it doesn't apply to this situation because Sanji, like, they've made it clear within the episode this isn't something he wants to do. He wasn't actually tricking the crew for 800 episodes. He's just in a shitty situation where he has no other choice but to go against Luffy, right? But I think it's still interesting to think about these hypothetical situations. Like, if they wrote this arc in a different way, what would it be like? But man, I mean, this arc has set up some really great stakes. I'm really glad that this Sanji confrontation has happened now. Because like this, it feels like, you know, you could have this towards the end of the arc, but I feel like we're just getting started in this arc. This is a long arc from memory, and I don't think I mean, I'm gonna guess we're not even like a quarter of the way into it, but I don't know if that's true. We're maybe about a quarter of the way into it. There's still quite a bit to go of this arc by the looks of it. So I know there's a lot to come, but I like that they've set this up already because we've got strong emotional stakes already, and it was shocking us having this. I thought it was going to be like, oh, Sanji and Luffy don't see each other until towards the end of the arc where they finally meet up again. But no, they saw each other, and now things are worse. So, it's really cool. Anyway, that's what I wanted to do for the extra discussion. I know, you know, it wasn't super long. Maybe it wasn't worth me coming back and doing more discussion, but I did 15 extra minutes of discussion because of that. Sorry that I had to split up. I know for you guys it didn't like make a difference in the video necessarily. It might have made a difference in the way I was discussing the episode because at this time that I'm recording it, I watched this Sanji and Luffy episode about 6 hours ago or something. Like, it was quite a bit of time ago. But I had an engagement that I had to go to. And then, but I was like, I don't want to rush this discussion, so I'll come back and do more of the discussion. But because of that, I split it up into 2 parts. My bad. I didn't know this episode was going to be so important. I didn't know episode 808 was going to go off so much. But that was great. That was so good. So thank you for watching. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. You can get the next 3 weeks of full-length videos on my Patreon account right now. You can get the next week of edited videos on my YouTube membership down below. Click the join button and you can join that. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.